I got to do something special for 100K. I think that maybe a collaboration. Maybe I'll do like a collab with a fighter. Maybe I'll spar. How about that? Maybe I spar a fighter. Spar Aljo for 100K. What do you guys think of that? Spar Aljo. Or Muzz at Longo Weidman gym. Should I Muzz at a gym? Maybe I go to Extreme Code. Maybe I go to Piper's gym and Muzz. I can do a Muzz at Piper's gym and a spar with Joe Piper. No. I think a spar would be good. A spar with a professional UFC fighter. Big name. That'd be good. People would like that. I think it would go viral. But I got to go with Aljo. Because, Aljo's around my height. He's, I'm going to tower over him a little bit. I'm going to be able to pop the jab on him a little bit. Because the last thing you want to do is you don't want to spar a guy like Joe Piper, who's obviously a lot bigger. He's imposing, he's salty, he's angry. Last thing you want is to be in there with Joe Piper. You think you're all buddy-buddy mode, and Joe Piper starts talking shit to you and threatening to knock you out, and the next thing you know, you're like the scared guy on YouTube. If I get in there with Aljo, then I'm in there with him. I'm in there with him. I'm popping the jab. I'm parrying, I'm feinting, I'm able to get away with stuff, I'm able to get hit. I'm able to feel like, all right, wait a second, I'm not in danger right now. So I think that if I spar with Aljo, hit a pump before the sparring session, get a nice gnarly pump, walk in, super dense. And if he starts to get the better of me, I'll just start talking to the camera like I'm instructing Aljo. And now Aljo's gonna want to move to mount. There you go, Aljo. And then throw a couple of those shots, Aljo. That's what you do when you start getting dog walked on camera. I think Sneeko did a sparring session with Merab, and Merab just started whooping his ass and embarrassing him in the grappling. He should have just said things like, listen, and now Merab, he's got wrist control, and once you get wrist control, yep, there you go. You're able to land those good shots like that, you see? And if you want to get out, Merab, help me out real quick. And then, if you're trying to get, now Merab, what does it take to get up to your feet in this position? And then Merab's going to be like, oh man, he'll start walking you through it. That's what you got to do to always, and with Strickland, you got to always say, now Strickland, if you're starting to break someone here in the clinch, man, if you're starting to break someone in the clinch, how do you usually tell? And then you start getting Strickland to actually think, you got to get him to think. You got to get him to have a real conversation. Bring them back to interview mode. Bring them back to interview mode, dude. But I think a sparring session for 100K with a fighter would be lit. I think that's what we got to do. Sparring session with Aljo or Merab. I think we could do a sparring session with Merab, dude. I think that'd be even better, to be honest. But I think that's my plan. I think that's what I'm going to do when I do a collab. Or maybe I should do a collab with like Strickland or something. And I should wear lifts. I should wear 10-inch lifts. And then I should go into spar him. And I'll try to just coach my way through it. I'll try to have a conversation with Strickland so he doesn't beat me up. I'll just distract him so I can at least tower over him on camera. That'd be so funny. My torso is going to be like freaking 2 inches long compared to the lower body. Do it with Piper? Fair enough. Yeah. Dude, yes, bro. Should I go to Piper's gym with a foot lift? Should I go to Piper's gym with literally stilts and just hide them under my pants? So that it, like, even if I get KO'd, people are gonna be like, "Damn, dude, he was pretty freaking tall though. He was pretty massive though." I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run up on Piper with some stilts, man. Oh, maybe I'll get some inflatable balloon arms. Maybe I'll get some inflatable balloon arms to have a longer reach there too. Caleb masculine mogs you. No, she doesn't, dude. Come on, dude. Are you kidding me? Have you seen me? That's the thing. People see me behind the computer and they just think that, oh, this guy's not actually that tough or whatever. But it's not until you get in person with a guy like me that you understand, wait a second, there's actually something different going on here. There's something going on here, right? And it's the denseness of me. I'm a little bit denser in real life, a little bit more chiseled in real life. Things stand out, neck pops out a little bit more. It's a little bit different. So I think that you guys have a false idea of who you're really dealing with just because I'm the nice guy on the live streams, and it's not all friendly in real life. Now, I'm a nice guy, but not really someone that you would ever pick a fight with. Let's just say that. I don't mean to sound like Jesse on fire, but it's, I'm being honest. I am pretty dense. I am a pretty dense guy. You guys will see when I do a collab with Aljo and Merab. You'll see. I'm definitely going to be the biggest guy in the room, all right? I may wear my stilts. If I know that the heavyweights are going to be there, If I know that the Weidmans are going to be there, I may rock in there with some lifts. I may wear some stilts, okay? But if I know it's just going to be me, Aljo, and the camera guy and whatever, I'll go in there barefoot, chilling. I'll be comfortably taller than those guys. You'll see. You'll see. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, at Extreme Couture, I was training with the heavyweights. I was not wearing lifts, I'll be honest. That's why they were saying, this guy's small, brother, but strong, brother. But I'll make sure to wear lifts if Weidman's going to be there. You can't get mogged on a, collaboration stream. That's going to be it. I'm going to do a collab with Mighty Mouse. I'm going to do a collab with Jessica Andrade, hitting pads with Andrade, kickboxing with Mighty Mouse, the nicest guy in MMA. And we're going to do a collab with Merab and Aljo. But if Strickland asks, if Weidman asks me for a collab, if Strickland asks me for a collab, I'm going to say, listen, with all due respect, let's just do an interview online. Let's do a Zoom interview. All right, all due respect. We don't need to do a collab in person. So in every single collab, I will comfortably be the biggest guy. All right. I'll even go out there and mog some of the 5'10 guys, because the 5'10 guys in the UFC lie about their height. Okay? They lie about the height. No, I'll go out there. I trust in my density maxing. I'll go band for band with any of these guys. I trust in my density maxing. Maybe I don't want to be next to, the heavyweights like Aspinall, but I don't mind training with Chandler Cole. I don't mind doing that. See, this show neck, this is me naturally. This is how I stream. I try to be professional, but naturally it kind of just sinks back into this. So, goofy motherfucker. What are those balloons? What balloons? Oh, these? That's just what happens when I put these up on the stream. I don't know why it's not happening right now. When I go Zhang Wei Li mode. I don't want to speak too much about what I'm going to do when I spar with some of these guys.
Well, I think they really want to see you train with Goliath again, bro. I think that's what they really want to see.
You know what? Again. That's actually a good idea. I actually am going to try to get a 100K collab with Magomed and Goliath. I don't know if he's going to be down. I don't even know if he'll understand my message. It's been a minute, but I'll reach out to Magomed. No, listen, I would spar with fighters. Obviously, I'm not delusional. I wouldn't do well. But I would try my best not to get embarrassed and humiliated. That's the thing.
Well, you were just saying off stream before that you would piece up Joe Pyfer, right? So I feel like that could be something you could do. You're saying off stream that you would easily beat him up.
Wait, Joe, I did not say that, Joe Pyfer. So don't come for me. I don't want Joe Pyfer tracking me down. But I would, one of these days I might actually nonchalantly stroll into Joe Pyfer's gym, act like nothing's ever happened, give him a pat on the back and see what he does. But no, I think that I don't want any smoke with Joe Pyfer, right? No smoke with Pyfer, bro.
Come on,
Joe
man.
Pyfer might be the scariest fighter on the face of the earth with the salt that he's
for
got.
You, bro, yeah.
For me, bro, specifically, yeah. But the thing is, again, you see guys like Sneeko sparring with Merab, and Merab knows he's not a threat, and Merab's putting him in the most humiliating positions you could possibly get put in that don't even work in fights.
That's what you're supposed to do to beginners. You're not supposed to piece them up. You're supposed to just ragdoll them and put them in stupid spot and be like, oh wow, this actually works. What the fuck?
Exactly.
Yeah,
but I can't let him do me like that. So again, I would do it to Merab. I'd be like, Merab, kind of walk me through this position. Next thing you know, I've got Merab in the worst position possible, and there's no way it could look bad on me. So no one tell Merab that. So
you just want a photo of you holding Merab.
I just want to avoid getting embarrassed. Embarrassed. No, but I do think that seriously, I will try to spar one of these fighters some days. Maybe not a hard sparring session, but you guys will see. I'll be willing to get my ass kicked a little bit. All right, I'll be willing to get my ass kicked a bit. Stop being so insecure, fellow dwarf maxer. Listen, I am short, but I'm 5'8". I'm not like 5'4", what you guys think 5'5". One of these days, I'm going to collab with a Merab Dvalishvili who's actually 5'6", and I'm going to tower over him. At least by a few inches, I'll tower over him. And one of these days, I'm actually going to do a collab with a middleweight, and I'm going to wear lifts. I'm going to wear 6-inch lifts, and you guys are going to be shocked. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have a freaking brief appearance in some sort of a UFC collab where you'll be watching a Poeton vlog, and you'll see me walking through the back, and I'll just do one of these on camera, and I'm going to have my 8-inch lifts. And then the narrative is going to be that I'm actually tall as fuck. But I'll warn you guys right now, if you ever see a video of me looking extremely tall, towering over really tall people, then you know I'm wearing my fucking lifts. You're not, dude. You ain't gonna catch me going to any UFC event without lifts, dude. I'm joking. Now it's like if I actually don't go with lifts, if I don't go with lifts, people are gonna think that I'm actually wearing lifts. So they'll be like, dude, this guy is actually 5'2". He told us he was wearing lifts, but he's only like 5'8". That means he's only 5'2". Now I actually have to fucking really wear lifts. Now I actually have to wear lifts. I'm telling you, I'm gonna do a sparring session with Martin Budai. Yeah, I'm gonna literally be eye level with Budai, dude. All right, I'm telling you. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.